Let's go over here and fill in the number of protons and electrons in the nitrogen atom. You can tell the number of protons because it tells us in the structure there are 7 protons. How many electrons are there in the nitrogen atom? Count them up. How many? There's 5 in the valence shell, and then there's 2. I'm going to put them both here and get rid of this one. And 2 in the inner shell. So there's 7 altogether. What charge are protons? Positive. What charge are electrons?
Negative.
Negative. So if we have 7 positives and 7 negatives, what is the overall charge?
Negative.
0. So when we write the symbol for this, what is the letter symbol for nitrogen? N. And we don't put anything up here because there is no charge. Charge goes at the top right. Okay? Now we go over to our ion. Excuse me. We go over to our ion. And again, we're going to count up the protons and the electrons. We have 7 protons. It tells us that. And now how many electrons do we have? We no longer have 7, we have 10 electrons. So that means we have 7 positive things and 10 negative things. And if we have 7 positive and 10 negative, what charge do we get?
-3.
We get -3. So do you see how you can find the charge 2 different ways? You can say, if I have more electrons than protons, I end up with a negative charge. Or I can just say, if I gain 3 electrons, my charge is 3 negative. So how would we write the symbol for this ion? We would still write the letter N. And what do we write up at the top right? 3 minus. If you write N minus 3, that is also okay. Now, anions are special because they change their name. No longer do we call it nitrogen. We change the ending to nitride. Okay, so we now have a nitride ion, and that right there is our nitride ion. So that's a little review of formation of anions. Going back to here, remember, half full, 4 electrons. More than half full, they gain electrons. So if you have 5 or more electrons, you try to fill the valence shell. But what if we have, if the shell is less than half full, how many electrons would that be if it's less than half full? Yeah, 3 or less, 3 or fewer. No longer is that atom going to try and fill up its shell. Instead, it's going to try and empty it out so that its outer shell becomes the next shell in. Okay? So what's going to happen is the atom will, lose electrons to empty its outer shell. And tell your partner what the other word for outer shell is. Starts with a V, and the word is? Valence. Nice. On fire today. The atom will lose the electrons to empty out its outer shell. So what would happen is, for example, if we had thank you. If we have like one electron, that's 3 or less. Yes? So we're going to lose 1 electron. And when we lose that electron, all we're left with is a full first shell. Yes, the new outer shell is full. So we can either have a full outer shell by filling one up or by emptying out one and the next one in is full. Who does this? Metals. If we lose electrons, what charge does the atom become? Positive.
I only had like a
If we lose electrons, what charge does the atom become? Yes. And if it becomes positive, now we no longer have an atom. What's it called now? It's an ion. And what type of ion specifically? A cation. Is good? Are we learning our new vocabulary? Valence shell, cation, anion. Yeah? All right, so let's go back then. Here. So back here, we had nitrogen, and it was gaining 3 electrons. And you might ask yourself, where did those 3 electrons come from? Did they just float around from the universe? And the answer is no. Where do you think maybe they got their electrons from? Other atoms. Yeah. So where do they get their electrons from? Other atoms. And they're specifically going to be metals because metals like to lose electrons, non-metals like to gain electrons. And where do you find the metals on the periodic table? Tell your partner, where do you find metals on the periodic table? You can feel free to use that up there if you want to. You can tell me what color they are.
the left of the staircase.
Left of the staircase. They're the ones up there that are what color? Blue. Okay, good.
So basically, you put a piece of wood like horizontally up there. The wires on. They strip.
Atoms have only a few electrons. So if they have only a few electrons, in other words, 3 or fewer, they will lose electrons in order to leave the valence shell empty. And the new outermost shell, the new valence shell will be full. So here is sodium. And remember, sodium is atomic number 11. And what does that atomic number tell you? An Na atom has what? That 11 tells us it has 11 protons. And what else? 11 electrons. Very good. Okay? So we got 11 protons and 11 electrons. You can see in our nucleus, we've got positive 11. We got 1, 2 electrons on our first shell, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 on our second shell, and that gives us 10, and our 11th is on the valence shell. What will this atom do to become stable? It's going to lose 1 electron to become stable. Now let's think about this. If you lose 1 negative thing, what does the charge become? Charge is how much? 1 plus. Yeah, so if you're losing 1 negative thing, you become positive 1. Okay?
Yeah.
So we have sodium. Sodium has 11 protons and 11 electrons. That's the atom. And the atom has the same amount of positives as negatives. So the net charge is 0. So if we wanted to write the symbol, that would just be Na. Not going to win? No. Sorry, I just can't hear you. Now we've lost an electron, and do you see how we've emptied out that outer shell? And so now our inner shell is full. It has 8 electrons. So we did have 11 electrons. We lost 1, so now we have only 10. And if you have 11 positive things and 10 negative things, and you add those together, you get the charge positive 1. And so the symbol would be Na. What would we put up at the top right? +1. You can either put +1. You can put Na 1 plus. The best way, both of those are okay. Okay. What's the best way? Just Na plus. If we write plus without a number, it means +1. If we write minus without a number, it means -1. The reason I bring this up is not to make you do it that way, but if I write it that way, you need to know what it means. Yes? You can write it whichever of those 3 ways you prefer. Okay? So, here are 3 ways look, it even says here, 3 ways you can write it. You can write it as Na plus, Na1 plus, Na plus 1. This one is the best. If you have a 2 plus charge, you can write it as whatever it is, 2 plus or +2. And this one over here is the best. Now this one, if life were perfect, you'd be able to erase things, but we can't erase them, so we're going to cross them out. Here we have magnesium, okay, and this is a magnesium atom. How many protons in this magnesium atom? 12, you can see it right there. 12 protons. How many electrons in this magnesium atom? You can count them, or you can say it's an atom, and in an atom, the protons equal the electrons. So if there's 12 protons, there must be 12 electrons. Protons are positive, electrons are negative. What is the net charge? 0. Oui. And the symbol for magnesium is... Feel free to use your periodic table, Mg. Just be careful. Sometimes people want to write Mn. That's manganese. Okay, so watch out for magnesium, which is Mg, and manganese, which is Mn. How could we make this magnesium atom more stable? What would it have to do? It would have to lose how many electrons? 2 electrons, because it's got 2 on its outer shell. So we want to lose 2 electrons. So over here, we're going to cross them out. Yes.
I need to tell you about the minus one. So after that kid, he like, it was like this, right? And then there was a crack in the middle. Bro, he used both of his hands to put the minus on, and it was I saw it. No. And then the boxes, and bro, the kid was
Okay.
ran to his bag. Dude.
Now, if we lose 2 electrons,
Yeah, it was ran.
sorry, that's like a written L, and not a very good one at that. What's the charge? It's positive. Positive how much? 2. Okay? Or you can figure out it this way. You can say my protons are still 12. My electrons are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 12 positive plus 11 negative. No, sorry, 10 negative gives me 2 positive. So that's the other way I can figure out that it's 2 positive. So what is our symbol here? Symbol is? 2 plus or plus 2? Okay, either way is fine. Now, metal ions do not change their names. Cations do not change their names. If you can think, maybe you can think about it this way. If you've got a cat, would the cat like respond to you if you all of a sudden called it by a different name?
Does it actually respond to you if you call it by itself?
Well, there is that. You have a point. But let's pretend that we have a very friendly cat. Okay? They do exist. There was a cat named Cole who used to live in my neighborhood, and we used to call it the dog cat because it would come over and it would like, you know, just be there and be happy to see you, and you would call him and he would come to you. And I'm like, wow, if I could get a cat like this, I would own a cat. Yeah. Okay. So cations do not change their name. So how do we name it? It was magnesium and it is still magnesium. Do you guys want to try aluminum on your own? Yes. Nobody answered me, so you're going to try aluminum on your own.
Let's do this. So, yeah, Michael's dog was so yeah, when we were trying to introduce Heidi to Michael's dog, bro, he was so scary because Michael's dog kept like barking at Heidi. So like I was just scared that I was gonna like put it. Yeah. I was just scared to like get Michael.
Let's not wait around. Otherwise, we'll never get anywhere. And we'll be here forever.
I have to talk to you. 14, 13.
Yeah.
My dog needs one. That's my dog. My Michael's dog is he's so big. Yeah. And then so I was like, yeah, just it was not that big. My dog is heavy. But my dog's like 70 or 80. Dog beat. It has been a rat. Mars? No. When you try how many electrons? Same.
So,
Oh my God.
And then like ran out for a month and he came back. Like so one thing will be like he came back like 6.
What?
And it's so skinny.
So cap.
Because like my teacher, she got so angry about it, like after like 10 years, she like hired $500 for 3 months. And the guy said that the guy owns around 3 houses like around that range. And then outside the cow had and then the house has been gone for 2 months. So I proceeded to be dead. Then I came back. It was like a skip walk, bro. Like
Skip on. Wait, how did you say? How many electrons? Or neutrons?
Dylan! Dylan, you just fucking good.
Okay.
Lucas, the after
Who's they?
act up your hip. So yeah, today Chinese was so focused on the stuff. So basically, Arthur James focus and me. So each day, one person has to speak after the last meeting.
Oh,
Okay. Aluminum.
How are we doing? Anyone having any difficulty?
What's the symbol of this one?
We're supposed to write number.
Yeah, I know. Wait. And plus what? Is it just one plus?
Maybe. I think it's. Oh, but the lights here. That makes sense.
So where's the 4 electrons?
It's like
Basketball players spell so fast. I know, but it's so true. Yes, bro. Showtime. No, I'm still. Showtime will be, oh my god. Yeah, it's like their entire. Yes, bro. Every single one of them. Even the coach. And the assistant.
Good job, Mr. Singh. Moving up.
And even the kids on the sideline. Yeah.
Even the bench.
Yes. Every single contact.
This argument, thinking pulls out this one.
Yeah, it's PU.
Think that's infinite. I think.
Did you send it?
Not saying the bridge.
And then he does something.
This shit's so loud.
I don't get this one, bro. Why is he? Why this one's text.
Like, the line is not giving.
We have another S on five. We actually got a lucky.
Wait, where's the
Last guy got some. Last guy got some.
Okay.
No, I didn't see the
So, what we're going to do now is we're going to draw some Bohr models of ions. So this is on page 100.
so mad at me.
I hate Bohr models.
He's like,
Max, can you please stop calling me a beta?
If you get good at Bohr models, then you get to go to Lewis structures, which are much easier to draw. Remember, the first shell can contain 2, second shell can contain 8, and the third shell can contain 8. And this is on page 100. 100.
Where was watch?
The easiest way, don't miss this because this is important for most of you. The easiest way to draw the Bohr model of an ion is to draw the neutral atom first, and then either put electrons in or take electrons out. So what do you draw first? Bohr model of ions, draw the neutral atom first.
no, it's working volts is really low daily number. How is it?
Shh. The faster you guys stop talking, the faster I can stop talking and the faster you can get to work. To form the ion, you either add ions or add electrons or remove electrons so that the ion has a full or empty valence shell. If you have 5 or more electrons, what will the valence shell do? Will it gain or lose electrons? Gain electrons to fill the valence shell. Adding electrons makes the ion negative. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to draw oxygen and you're going to say, oh, look, oxygen has 2 empty spots. So I am going to fill those 2 empty spots. And this is the other part where people lose a mark usually, is they forget to do this last step. You always, and so I'm going to put big stars here. You need to put around your Bohr model, once you have put in the extra electrons, you need to put brackets around it. And there's square brackets. It's just Microsoft Word doesn't really let me draw square brackets. Square brackets, and we write the charge at the top right, outside the brackets. So we go from having an oxygen atom to having an oxide ion, O2 minus. If an atom has 3 electrons or fewer in its valence shell, it will lose electrons to empty the valence shell. And giving away electrons or losing electrons makes the ion positive. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our calcium atom, we're going to draw our calcium atom, and because I would recommend working in pencil, if you are working in pen, I can lend you a pencil, I would just erase. But if you prefer crossing them out, you can also cross them out, right? So draw the neutral atom first. And then either add or remove electrons. In this case, we're going to lose 2 electrons. So you can scribble them out or cross them out. Just make sure they don't look like electrons anymore, or you can erase them. And then our final step, don't forget, because you get a mark for this, you need to put the brackets and the charge. So you need to have a bracket here, and you need to have the charge. And everyone always asks this, so I'm just going to tell you right now. What happens if there's 4 electrons?
It stays the same.
They don't tend to gain or lose electrons. They tend to share electrons, and we'll learn about that later. Okay? Not now. There's a picture of them sharing electrons. If you want to look at it, you can, but you don't have to. Draw the neutral atom first. Nonmetals form anions, and the name changes to -ide. Metals form cations. No name change. And don't forget to put your brackets and the charge at the top right. So what you're going to do is go through here and practice. So this is pages 102, 103, 104, 105. Oh my God. You'll survive, yes. Not everything in life is fun. Do you think it's fun marking 30 of the same test? That's like super fun, let me tell you. Yeah, no. Especially not when it's like very similar to other tests I've marked over the last 24 years, right? And I'm like, oh, how many ways could this question be done wrong? Super fun, super fun. It sounds fun until you're doing it 5 hours. That's about how long it takes. Yes. You may go to the bathroom. Okay.
Low.
Like, this is kind of big old package.
Yeah. Can I use your?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Guys get so mad at me. But they not do that thing, and it's like, stop calling me that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, shock, isn't it? Oh, maybe. Which one's
I'm Philip.
Kingdom.
Oh, you think when the electrons in the matrix, these electrons are
Jay's eyes are so bigger than his shoulder. No, it's like way big. So it's like if your bicycle was on my
for brilliance, here,
it's like it's the shoulder. So I
beryllium.
but biceps is
I just make it quick.
yeah. Bro, he was like, yeah, and yeah, I used to curl that shit when I was like, oh.
Yes. Be proud. A.
I used to do that too.
A mark for some kind of value.
I get you right here.
And then our metal is
Oh no! Give me so freaking bro. I was supposed to
I need to go.
Okay.
Down right? Down right. Oh my god.
Why are you so delayed?
No, I'm like that. Right down?
Oh my.
So up left? Up left down. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, bro. No, you like this. You like this.
Okay, fine.
If you do this, you'll
Oh. Oh my god.
You're my son. No.
Well, no, you're not, bro.
You're right back. Run back.
Don't you do Hey, no, that's the way.
I went down.
Nah, I get
went
you.
down.
I get you. I hit you too, bro. I get. Do it one more time. I know. Alright. Come on.
Wait.
No, I got you. What? Sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh.
Huh? You're my son, bro. You're actually my son. 3 in a row. But
That's only three.
it's not as bad as mine. 5 in a row is diabolical.
I'm spinning back.
Us spinning backwards and shadow. I all lined up. Huh? No. Wait, no.
Oh my god, first try, bro. I was planning on moving.
Barrel.
Make it 2-3. Make it 2.
One more, bro.
I go first. Oh. Oh my god.
No, bro. Oh my god.
2-3.
That's it. I don't play. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Well, last time I won, so technically I can't come back.
Yeah, whatever. I did not beat.
But you did not beat me.
I beat you 3 times in a row.
I beat you 2 times right now, bro. You want to make it 3?
No, bro. I do not want to make it 3. Wait.
Oh, you did that on purpose. You're trying to reframe 9/11.
I am not recreating.
Well, definitely.
Oh, it's because I marked it. It's because I fucking scribbled and really shit.
Bro, you're supposed to go flat and type my script. And you didn't write it.
Yeah, I lost like 0.25 with that. I could have just gotten it.
Yeah, it's really good.
My bad game.
Like when inside.
What? Let's go inside.
No, I don't.
You know after the beast.
Nope. Wait, I might have written it down. No, I didn't write any of it down. Dude, Micah's so lucky, bro. He gets to skip all the tests.
No, but that'll bring us the break.
No, it won't because it won't say that he did a test. Like that's so lucky. Like bro lost his knee and that also won't test.
Next week. And he said you come from this one.
Yeah, because it's disabled. You can't even fucking
It's freaking evil.
His parents got mad at me for laughing. They didn't say it to me. They said it to Mike. They said it's inconsiderate of Mike to laugh. He literally can't walk. It was so funny.
You have Mike in see him.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting in the basement.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the basement like.
Hey guys.
Yeah, he's like, hi Max. You know, my brother got into this, and he's like this. Like he was literally like this for like 40 minutes, not even like 40.
So,
And then he was eating dinner at the table, and he's like,
oh, imagine Micah's family just goes out to like bunch of food, and I'm like, he gets a bad food, but no one
yeah,
else
like
is
what
sick.
happened to me?
And I get it, and then like, someone help me to the mouth.
I probably
and everyone's like gone, and then you just sit there.
I probably did.
Well, and then the parents get trapped in like a traffic stop. And
No, because I was next door to him.
and then you just go out to see.
Yeah, I'd make him say daddy. He had to, like, piss.
Imagine you were not at that time.
Okay, I'm sure you will. Yeah.
You're just stuck in the chair. Sarah, gee.
Okay, we're gonna do this first one together. Okay? Beryllium. Here. Yes. Okay. So, beryllium, its atomic number is 4. So we're gonna put 4 protons. 4 to that. Hang on. I've got an eraser somewhere.
Money for pencils. I have to spend my $138 wisely.
What? We like
Alright. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our nucleus and we're gonna put 4 protons. Not yet. We also need to put the neutrons in the nucleus. So there are 5. You're doing some pencil. Okay. Probably find it more now. You can keep using it.
Oh, this is fine.
Yeah. Like I said. Maybe not so bad.
No, look at this one. Bro, I swear I was.
I've been using this for a year and still not.
Okay, yeah, this is not a good pencil.
Yeah, I stole this one from James. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh, so you're a bad one.
No, I asked him if I could use it. Like, sure.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're going to draw a neutral group of any object. You're going to draw a circle around that one. And now, how many electrons can go on that shell? Only two left. Okay. And now, how many electrons do we need to draw a prism? 4 protons. How many electrons?
Yeah.
Nope.
Um,
Okay. So protons and electrons are atom part of the same. 4 protons and how many electrons? 4. So draw another circle. And leave one there and one there. Now, we need to turn it into an ion. So you need to look at your shell and you need to say, do I empty this out or do I fill it up? Is it an ion? What's in this one? Okay. So ions are when an atom either loses electrons or gains electrons. And it does that by either empty out or fill up. It doesn't have a lock, so it's going to empty or fill. If I have to fill it out, it's 6 electrons. That's a lot of electrons. We empty it out. Okay. So if I only have 2, that's easier than getting 6. So we're going to lose 2 electrons. So we're just going to erase those. Okay. And now you're going to draw arches around this whole thing.
What is that?
I don't know.
No.
And now you have 2 electrons.
Do you have Band-Aid?
I do. You see that red bag of something over there?
Yeah.
Yes, they're in there. Okay.
No, I know. Better than I do.
And now you're going to say 4 protons,
Positive.
2 electrons. These are positives, those are negative. What do I have more of? Positive? Positive, how many more positive? Now you're going to look up the group name. Say group number 2, what do we call it?
Alkaline.
Alkaline.
Oh, yeah.
It's alkali and it's alkaline earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your alkaline earth. Okay. And then the group number, you just look it up.
What is that?
Period number, that's what rows it in, also 2. And the mass number, you can't look on here, you have to see it. Nine. Ion symbol is E. Yeah. Okay, so you got to start on it.
It's not mocking my brain.
You caught my.
I'm kidding.
Why?
Because I'm too nonchalant. Huh? It's literally 2 to 3 of them.
Come on, challenge you.
Run it back.
Yeah, good. I was not.
Do it again.
Alkaline. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Get it?
I called him the UK Sydney Edward needed. Not John, but he's already like John, that's the Chinese one. The Chinese one. No. That kid's like super small and super skinny. But John is like yours. I mean, not as
Oh.
I don't think it'd be fun. Bro, Akio said he was locked in for school and was like failing all of his classes. Like, I don't think this was. I don't think.
Yeah, and he's still flexing how he got better than me on one bench throw.
Last year is insane.
Remember how you got better grades than you last year?
He's not getting better. He failed all his classes.
I got extended grades.
Why say NA? Okay, so even NA.
It's right here.
NA, 11.
I also
Okay, so it's
we have to write NA in.
11. What's this from? Oh, wait, why did I? Oh, my bad. This is why you should be copying off of my work.
Stop saying it.
I would never say that. Wait, put on that. Good gracious.
Bro, you put on. I'm supposed to put it here.
Sodium ion power. Bro. Maybe that's flash.
What did I like?
On my brother, my sister, my dad, my dog, I swear my brother's like twice. I don't even on my brother, on my sister, my dad, my mom, my dog. And my $150 in my bank. Like, well, yeah, she has Is it giving vouchers or giving vouchers? Oh yeah. So everyone wants to change it. 1, 2.
They ain't even asking a question.
God knows that.
Wait, why do we have to lose stuff again?
I'll take it. Say that's good. You got so mad at me today.
Oh yeah.
He got so mad at me because I showed everyone. He's like, you're my son, you're my son. And he's like, no one knows my phone is. I'm like, shit, you're an amazing psychopath. And he's like,
He looks like he has a
it's so funny. And he got so mad at me because I showed everyone. I was like, it's not that.
How to solve a problem. How to solve
Oh, I got mad because I couldn't leave.
I'm gonna work my.
It's daily Welch or daily Welch.
I don't pay attention to that freaking
Let me search that. I'm pretty sure it's Haley Welch. Yeah, it is Haley Welch. That's right. Hey, you can have your phone for a sec. Let's compare phones to that.
I bet it's the same. Or my pick.
I have an iPhone 8.
11 XR.
Oh.
Oh, kind of. It is out. You can
Why are we trying to mix stuff again?
Sometimes I get it hurt.
We're so good.
On for that.
Where's Cody on the
She knows the mask. What's sweating? It's right here now.
Please, please, I deserve it.
Yeah. Alright, no competitive. No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
10 minutes.
Can you like actually do your having to properly?
That went up or down.
No.
I didn't even go.
You know the consequences of being.
What the hell is here?
No, oh, see, you even did it. I did it like this, and you're like, what the hell?
S James.
I'm looking at my own baby.
Oh fuck! Of course they're Chinese. Whoa.
Nothing.
Wait, let's see that. Let's see that. Where's the other one? WeChat, right? WeChat. Can I have your number?
I don't have it.
I have WeChat. My brother has WeChat.
See on your mom.
Osmond. Those Osmond's hair was still flat.
Did he get?
You got a perm, but it looks so dry. It looks so bad. It's this shit's not acrylic.
All right, folks.
Trying to get a perm?
No, I'm not trying
I
to get a perm.
need you to finish minimum up to page 103. If you've done more than that, that's fantastic. Minimum up to page 103.
I'll get minimum.
Minimum.
Like, but do not get a perm. No, Mike is gay ass. And he like is literally in love with Brady.
Huh?
He's like literally in love with Brady. Wait, no one? Yes. He's like his eyes. Yeah, he's like,
No, you now have.
Where's the top?
And 11. Or hang on. 11 protons and 10 electrons. 11 protons, 10. Oh, so that would be one. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any problem with this whatsoever, don't be shy. Come by Flex tomorrow. If you cannot come to Flex, come at lunch tomorrow. Okay?
I'll ask.
doesn't basketball.
Is that your tutor?
No, my brother's.
It was okay. It was okay. Sure.
Bro. Oh, right. I just told
What?
that shit is so.
Is that even a firm?
Yeah, it's a firm because it's like messed up, right?
I think it's
It is, but it's still fried.
It's like you use texture.
No, he did not use petrol. That shit is still fried.
We should all like we should make we should go to her chat.
Oh no, Friday? That's too scary. I don't want to go. I'm kidding. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, already. Yeah, those switches to I appreciate it over.